Hi everybody, I'm Hal Weeks. I'm coming to you from Daigle Autoharps in SeaTac, Washington, and I have a rare opportunity today, so I'm jumping on it while I have the chance. I have here, you can't see them, they're down here. I have three identical Autoharps in three different kinds of wood, and they are the three kinds of wood that are our most common types of wood to use for the back of an Autoharp. And I wanted to talk to you about that today and let you hear the differences between walnut and maple and cherry in an otherwise identical model and identical tuning, so that everything else being the same, you can hear the difference that a certain wood makes on your Autoharp to help you make the choice in case you're thinking of a Daigle, but you go, what wood should I get? And I wanted to discuss those differences with you. Today I'm looking at three different, what we call the TLC model, which is one of the Daigle flagship models. And all three are TLCs. They all have spruce tops. They are all chromatic and identically tuned. So they will sound different because their backs are made of different material. The trim is also made of different wood on all three models, the same as the back. But the sides and the trim, like the cord bars and the bridges, don't make any difference in the tone of the instrument the way the back will. And they're otherwise identical. So, without further ado, this one I happen to be holding. This is a walnut TLC. I'll show you the back. Walnut is typically a dark wood. It has a great amount of variance from piece to piece. So obviously the harp that you get is going to look a little different than this one, unless you happen to get this one. But they have incredible grain in them, ranging from the sort of blonde colors, even lighter than this color, through reds. This piece doesn't have a lot of red in it. And the back, of course, is made out of two pieces. I'm trying to get it so the light doesn't reflect right there. It's made out of two pieces, 1 and 2, that are what's called book matched. They come out of a piece of wood like this, and then they're opened like this. So they're butterflied in a way, and that creates the symmetrical pattern on the back. But it varies widely in the kinds of patterns that you get. The back of the harp creates part of the sound that you hear. Now let's talk about that a little bit before getting into comparing these. The top of the harp, which is the part that you see right now, is the part that you hear the most when you listen to an Autoharp, because you're listening from out front, which is the point of this video, because the microphone is right out there. And so you can hear it from the point of view or point of ear of hearing of the audience. And you're going to hear all three of these with the same microphone in the same video. So you'll hear the difference. But most of the sound that you hear is what's coming off of the top. The top is a softwood, in this case spruce, spruce, spruce. And because it's a softwood, that gives a lot of volume, a lot of vibration comes off of this, what's called the soundboard. And that's the biggest part of the sound that you hear is coming from the softwood on top. So these harps are all going to sound more identical than different because they have the same identical soundboard, same identical bracing inside. But the back of the harp the sound that comes from the back of the harp sort of comes, I describe it as sort of coming around the sides, which it literally does, because it's coming off the back. It's going back there and bouncing off the wall, and it is coming around the sides of the instrument. And so it kind of fills in around the edges of the sound and helps to unify the sound and give it some of its character. Now, Walnut, this is Walnut. Walnut I consider to be warmer and a little bit bassier than the other woods, but also a little bit quieter, especially in the treble, in the short strings up here. They're a little less piercing, a little less bright, a little less sparkly. And all of these things are subjective to the listener's ear and the words that they choose to use. It's like describing a flavor. Describe the flavor of ice cream. Describe the flavor of chocolate. Describe a flavor of coffee. It's kind of hard to do, but it's great to be able to hear it. So without further ado, I'm going to play this harp, and then I'm going to talk about the other harps, and then at the very end of the video, I'm going to play them side by side without talking in between, so that you can hear side by side what the differences are. And I'm going to try to play in the same key, and I'm going to try to play the same tune, but try to play a little bit quiet and a little bit loud and a little bit on the bassy side and a little bit on the sparkly treble side, so that you can kind of hear the overall sound of each harp in its different woods. So here we go. This is I'm going to play in G. I'm going to play South Wind in G on the Walnut TLC. By the way, I'm not using finger picks. I want you to hear what the sound of the Autoharp is, not the sound of the picks. I am using a thumb pick because I always wear a thumb pick when I play. Okay, so South Wind on the Walnut harp. Now what I've played so far is mostly the bass notes and the middle register of the harp. So listen to the bottom, listen to the bass sounds. And by the way, listen on headphones if you've got them. Use earbuds or headphones or good speakers. Don't listen on your phone. Don't listen on your laptop, because you're not going to hear these subtleties. Quiet now. Now the treble side. There you go. That's the Walnut. Let's talk about Cherry. This one is the rarity in the store at the moment. We haven't had a lot of Cherry harps that we've made recently. They come in waves, and we'll get a whole bunch of orders for Cherry, and then we won't see any Cherry for a while. But you can of course order it at any time. Cherry. In this case, the sides are cherry, the chord bars are cherry tops on the on the aluminum extrusion on the cord bars. The holders, the bridges, everything's cherry all around. The top is spruce, just like on the other harp. And here's the back, which is this figured cherry, very pretty. Cherry starts out with this tan to almost pinkish color. And this is quite tan. But the thing about cherry, which is not really true of walnut or maple, is that cherry gets darker over the years. It's going to get into a redder and redder dark brown as it is exposed to light and air and oxidization. Cherry changes, and you will see it darken over time. So it's quite light right now as to what it will look like 10 years from now. Again, listen for the sound coming in to the edges, because most of what you're going to hear is going to be the spruce top. And again, at the end of the video, I play them all together, side by side, without blabbing in between. To me, the cherry sounds a little louder, a little brighter, especially in the treble, more balanced throughout, while the walnut sounds darker and a little bassier, especially in the treble. The cherry sounds equal all the way across to me. Okay, maple. Maple is a blonde wood. So this one has maple on the cord bars, maple cord bar holders, maple bridges, maple sides, and the maple back, which, as you can see, is moderately figured. Some maple is very plain. Some maple is really wildly curly. This one is definitely figured. I think they call it all big leaf maple. Maple is the hardest, I believe, of the three woods. And my impression of the maple is that it's the brightest. So you hear the loudest treble coming out. That's my opinion. But see what you think. Okay, so now you've heard all three of these, the TLC in maple, cherry, and Walnut. Now I want to play all three of them side by side, back to back, so that you can hear them without talking so much in between. I'm going to play the tune and let you hear them. The first part of the tune is sort of the bass side in the middle, and then for the second part of the tune, the B part, I go up high so that you can hear the sparkly side. So I'm not going to talk between these. I'm just going to play all three of them so that you can hear. So there you have it. 3 harps, 3 different hardwoods on the back, otherwise all exactly the same. What do you think? How do you describe these 3 sounds? Fill it in the comments. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to Daigle Autoharps. I'm Hal Weeks. I am extremely fortunate that I get to sit here and compare these beautiful harps for you and share them with you and tell you about them. We have harps in stock ready for you to call and to place your order. We can make any of these for you. What do you think? What do you like? Let us know. We're looking forward to hearing from you at Daigle Autoharps. Thanks. You guys have a great holiday. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.